Now recording. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this edition of the IKoK, the International Koalition of Krones Chat. This evening, we're going to be doing the second of 3 of the Planetary Soul Star Chakra activations. We did the first one last year on, excuse me, I thought I heard something, September 11th. We're very excited. We're very grateful and honored that you have joined us this evening. Let me introduce myself. I'm Essence Katharis, founder and one of the Krones of the International Koalition of Krones. And I'd like to take this time to ask the other Krones to go ahead and introduce themselves and say hello. Kobaha?
Bonsoir. My name is Kobaha. I live in northern Arizona near Sedona, and I'm an intuitive crystal therapist and spiritual facilitator. I'm very excited about tonight, as always, and thank you for joining us. Over to you, Oriane.
Thank you, Kobaha. I couldn't find the mute button then, or the unmute button. I'm Crone Ariane, and I live in the far north Queensland in Australia. My joy in life is to help people who are doing it tough. I'm a qualified holistic counsellor, meditation therapist and teacher, a Reiki practitioner, an EFT tapping master practitioner. But really, I just love talking to folk who are starting out on their spiritual journey and need a little bit of guidance. I like to help people bring about their own healing with whatever problems that they're dealing with, and I'm really looking forward to today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Okay. And we're off to the races, as they say. Before we begin this evening, let's go ahead and take just a few minutes to bring ourselves to center, to connect energetically, and to create an energy field, a space in which we're going to do this work this evening, a place that we can connect and strengthen the work, if you will. As we do this, I will be reading, for most of you that know that I'm master Metatronic numerologist, and so I will be reading the Metatronic numerology IM keyword phrases that we call the heart of the IKoK, the work of the IKoK, and the star seed IM frequency. So everybody just get comfortable, please, and take a deep breath. Inhale and hold it just a moment, and exhale and really just release the stresses and cares of the day. And another in-breath and exhale, bringing yourself to center, to that balanced state of stillness. And in this next in-breath and out-breath, I ask that you send forth from your high heart chakra and your third eye a energy cord into the center of this circle. Visualize that we are sitting in a circle. Not only us here live this evening on this chat, but those who will join us in no time, no space by watching this video in its recorded form, and also for galactic and intergalactic family, multidimensional family who are joining us in this most sacred of work. So take one more deep breath, and as you exhale, please send forth into the center of the circle those energy cords to connect us to each other. The 2266 dual frequency is known to us as the heart of the IKoK. I am the master of divine balance. Through the remembrance of the singing of the sacred cosmic song of self, I ignite creation of new realities. I am that which rebalances and heals. The 2277 dual frequency, known to us as the work of the IKoK. We call it the 4 cornerstones of the work of the IKoK. I am the form of the sacred structure of collective reality known through the awakened divine rational mind. I build reality upon the foundation whose cornerstones are honor, integrity, responsibility, and expansion of sacred perspective. I am the master builder of collective galactic realities. And the 655 dual frequency, what we call the star seed, I am frequency. I am that which is aware of the responsibility of clearly hearing the voice of love. I am responsible for anchoring love's message of rebalancing within the collective field of humanity. I am starseed. Thank you, everyone. And we will begin this evening by sharing some information and then move into the actual work that we came to do this evening, which will be the work of the second of 3 activations of the planetary soul star chakra. I'll give a little bit of information about that, a little detail here in just a moment, but I'm feeling called to move in a little bit different pathway than we normally do. Kabaha, I'm feeling called to have you go ahead and pull a card now. Please. You need to unmute.
You totally confused me, so that's why I had my notes ready for something else. Okay. That's the deck I was guided to use tonight, the Starseed Oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell. Okay, let's see what we're going to get. So it's pretty much the energy from tonight to next week. But as a warning this morning, Spirit told me it's going to be a bit longer for the next few weeks. So let's find out. Oops. Okay. Okay, no surprise there. Okay, the card, I'm going to show it to you. The card is the Great Severing, Mars Energy, Anger, Conflict, Softening to Love. Here's the card. Okay. Well, now that makes a lot of sense. I drew that same card a few days ago, actually. And what struck me now immediately is I know for a fact that Mars, the planet Mars, is in retrograde in Aries until mid-November. And potentially, I would say potentially, there is a risk of chaos, conflict, because Mars is very much the energy of action. And when you've got this planet in retrograde, there is a lot of frustration, anger. So we could experience that in our lives, but as well in the collective. And as mentioned on the card, we need to soften to love. What does it mean? To me, going through that period, and we're talking until mid-November for Mars, being in retrograde, but I think it's going to go further than that, actually. We need to stay balanced. We need to go within. We need to reassess a lot of reassessment in our lives on many levels, to let go of what no longer serves us. So it could be more on the physical, like relationships, but it could also be more on old patterns. So yes, the message is so about that. Let me have a look if I can feel anything else. Actually, thinking about it, the message is very much connected to something I'm going to mention later on. Some of us started to work on the high heart chakra a few weeks back. And the high heart chakra is very much about connecting to balance in our lives and letting go of old patterns as well. So it's balance between our physical self with the spiritual self. So the message there in some ways is very much connected to this particular work. And I think that's pretty much it. So bear with it. I would say to navigate the chaos, if you realize you've got chaos around you, the other message I'm getting here as well is try to be compassionate with detachment, especially if you've got people around you with a lot of anger, okay? You may experience that, but we need to work more on that as well. And working on the high heart chakra is one way of doing it as well. So be aware of that. Potentially could be, the next few weeks could be quite chaotic. Over to you, Essence.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Baha. I think we can all see and appreciate and understand why that message came forward. We've, in the last chat or two, we've also, as I was listening to Kobaha share the message that was brought forward just now, was reminded that we have been told more than once, let's just say, recently, that we do need to really be very cognizant and pay attention to releasing. You know, this sounds so just almost contrite. I don't mean it to, it's become almost cliche, but it's so relative right now. In releasing what no longer serves, releasing what has served its purpose, okay, to get you to where you're at on this point in your path and your journey and your spiritual awakening. That includes, we've been told specifically that to take a really close look at our energetic connections in cyber reality. In other words, in online forums and social media and things like that, because staying connected to those dense frequencies. Okay, now this is that balance that Kobaha is talking about. This as I was hearing you, this is what I was hearing, and I just want to add to this as a reminder. The balance is we have to know what's going on in the world, because we are here in human form and we do have to deal and be a part of that. And even as starseed, it's really our job to still know what's going on, but not let it control, manipulate, and create chaos and drama, high drama in our reality, in our everyday world. We were told to do that, and something else, and it's kind of flew out of my head, but it'll come back later. But it was along the same lines of basically releasing what no longer serves. Okay, we do want to make this chat, because maybe a little shorter than the vast majority of them. So we're going to move pretty quick with just throwing some information at you so we can actually get to the work. I don't know. I know a lot of you follow us on Facebook, and on Facebook, I recently put up just earlier today a picture of the Potala Palace. It's like, where is the planetary soul star? So I'm just going to give you some information about the planetary soul star chakra very quickly. What is the planetary soul star chakra? Why are we activating this planetary chakra? Where is it located? What are the colors associated with it? Okay. So I'm just literally going to read my notes because I think we can move a lot faster that way. And if there's any more information that comes through in the moment, then I'll share it that way. What is the planetary soul star chakra? Just as we as individuals have a chakra system, so too does planet Earth. That makes sense when you realize that Earth is an individualized consciousness just as we are. Earth is also our physical home, and as such, we depend on her for our very existence. In this way, she is our mother. As our mother, she sustains us. Simply stated, this is an as above, so below, or microcosm, macrocosm relationship. Okay? The soul star chakra. Both are individual for us as the individuals and for the planetary for the collective. Governs and regulates the opening of the knowledge, wisdom, and compassion necessary to attain enlightenment. The compassion I speak of here is that related to the high heart. Okay, we've talked about that some. We'll touch on it again a little bit. Okay, the blueprint for our individual lifetime is held within this energy center in our physical form known as the lower Dian 10. This is in the same general area as our sacral chakra, okay? But the clear knowledge of our sacred contractual work, not only for this individual lifetime, but for our soul or higher self, including our initial knowledge of our galactic self, is held within the soul star chakra. So that means I'm talking there as the individual, but so that means for the collective that it is held in this planetary soul star chakra, all right? The same is true for Earth and for the collective consciousness of humanity. The clear knowledge of the fuller purpose for humanity's existence as a collective consciousness of Earth, having this Earth experience, is held within the planetary soul star chakra. Okay. So next question, you might ask, why haven't we been told about or working with these planetary transpersonal chakras before? And the reason that question is stated that way, or said these planetary transpersonal chakras before, the Earth star, the soul star, and the zeal star, or the zeal, sometimes it's not called zeal star, it's just called the zeal chakra within the individual, for each of us individual, are called transpersonal chakras. And so I'm just using that term here to carry that forward so that it's understood, okay? But it's for the planetary, okay? So here I'm speaking because we're having to activate, and okay, and technically it's a reactivation. I'll talk about that just a little bit. Activate all three of these planetary transpersonal chakras it's over a 10-year period. The first one began last year in 2019, in September 11th, and just these three will end in 2022. Here I'm speaking not only about the planetary soul star chakra, but also about the planetary earth star chakra and the planetary zeal star chakra. We have just begun the process of reactivating all three of these planetary transpersonal chakras. What I just said there. Plus, this process began in 2019 and will not be completed, meaning all three fully activated to a specific rate of vibration until 2028 to 2030. In that time frame, okay? Plus, we are activating other very specific planetary energy centers and grid points that are necessary to going galactic over the next 2 decades. Simple answer, they have been shut down to almost complete dormancy. That's why we haven't been working with them, okay? Now, don't get me wrong, there are some people, there are individuals who have been working with these chakras. We have heard more and more about them in, let's say, the last 10 years or so in this belief system. But it's not like this is, unheard of information, but they have been dormant. Okay, why? Because for us, the collective consciousness of humanity, to delve deep into the denser physical reality realms of Earth, they had to be. They vibrate at a frequency that is too high to allow for existence within dense physicality below a certain point. Does this mean by reactivating them, humanity is going to suddenly and immediately raise its frequency back to pre-3D reality experience rates? No, it does not. What it is about is the activation of these planetary transpersonal chakras, about bringing them back online to a frequency that will be of assistance to humanity at the juncture it is currently at in its consciousness journey, as a support structure and propulsion force for accelerating this process. This process I'm talking about is the expansion of the collective's consciousness. Where humanity of Earth currently exists as a collective is at a major juncture, and much is dependent on the outcome of decisions made and frequencies attained, not just for humanity, but for major portions of intergalactic reality. So why activate now? 2020 is the year, or the decade, okay, that humanity goes galactic. Better stated, it is the year humanity begins the work necessary to eventually go galactic. What do I mean by going galactic? I mean us eventually physically traveling into our galaxy, and from there into other galaxies, eventually intergalactic. This is simply a next step in the evolutionary process of our collective consciousness reality experience journey, connected to Earth and this part of our current universal system. All right, now here's the part you probably don't want to hear. All right, but it's not that bad, so don't worry. But the activation of these, and think about what Kobaha, the message that just came through with the card she pulled, the activation of these planetary transpersonal star chakras will create energies, planetary energies, that many will find create drama and chaos within their lives. Because these are planetary frequencies well beyond what have been in play within our reality experience for, well, in all honesty, in many ways, okay, nothing is set in stone in 100%, but in many ways, they've not ever really been in place since Homo sapiens sapiens came onto the scene. It's been a very long time, okay? I know that it's hard for us as humans coming through the human mind filters to understand that we are talking about such long time frames. But that's where this collective is. This is what going galactic means, all right? Excuse me just a moment. I'm listening to see what... I'm feeling that here, I'm not sure, ladies, which in the information that you two have to share, which should go first? You know, I wish y'all could see what I see.
Oh, I'll go first.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So hang on, I just need to do this so I can see what I'm reading. Give me a sec. There we go. So I've consciously been on my spiritual journey for almost 6 years. And I know that I've been considered by many to have fast-tracked my learning, my spiritual growth. And in many respects, that's really right. But I have been incredibly fortunate to have had an amazing teacher, our essence, to guide me in the actual work, but the actual work's being done by me. And I can choose to look back on that journey in one of two ways. I can look at all the pauses, the times when nothing seemed to be happening, at the times when there was a huge amount of 3D stuff to deal with. And when I look back on that way, I used to get really frustrated. I just wanted to get hold of something, some knowledge, some way to know what I'm here for, what my work is, what my gifts are, what skills, if any, I'm going to develop. And this is something that pretty much all neophytes are familiar with. It's a part of the learning curve. All those delays and pauses when you don't seem to be moving forward need to happen. You need to live your 3D experiences. They give you knowledge and the basis to understand the spiritual aspect, the way energy flows and works through everything. You have to learn to accept that some things are just not going to happen and that other things are going to make you fly. And that's the other way you can look back on your journey, at the times when you could fly, the times when you made that leap of understanding. And yes, you are allowed to be proud of what you've achieved. Almost every person on the spiritual journey, and many in mainstream, know about the 7 main chakras. It's probably up there amongst the first things that you learn as a newbie. I remember worrying that I'd never get to know them, their colour, their position in the human body, what their purpose is. But now, well, it's like driving a car. You get to know how to change the gears without even thinking, so you stop thinking about it. You focus on your chakras for a while and then sort of taper off. And many people never get as far as even looking into the chakras outside of those main 7. Yes, a lot of people know or have heard of some of the transpersonal chakras like Earth Star and Soul Star. And a lot of those people will do some research, they'll read a book, watch a couple of videos on YouTube or Facebook, maybe do a class or 2, have someone to guide them into activating their Soul Star chakra or their Earth Star chakra and think, great. Soul Star chakra is a great way to learn, the gateway to learning, all those things that I desperately want to know. And now I'm switched on, ready to go. It doesn't work like that. It's not a matter of doing a meditation to activate your Soul Star chakra and suddenly everything will become clear. Yes, an activated Soul Star chakra is a bit like switching on a communication link to your higher self, and it will help you make a clearer connection. But don't think you'll suddenly be able to access all the info that you need, that you'll suddenly understand and remember why you're here or what you're here to do. Like everything that's worthwhile, you have to work at it. It's a journey, and it's the journey that's important. When you activate your Soul Star chakra, you're not going to suddenly get all the answers. It's more likely to be that neophyte journey where there's lots of pauses in your growing knowledge. But understand, when the connection is made, then at some point down the line, you will be able to look back on this part of your journey and realize how far you've traveled and how much more you do understand. Is the planetary Soul Star chakra something new? Like Essence says, nope, it's always been there. Just like your individual Soul Star chakra has always been there. Just that a lot of people don't know about it, but it kind of makes sense. Planet Earth has its main 7 chakras, so planet Earth should naturally have its transpersonal chakras too. In the same way that you are able to activate your personal chakras, so too are we activating Earth's transpersonal chakra. Well, actually, as Essence said, we're technically reactivating it. And by moving forward, we are moving forward. And today, we're going to be doing that second activation of the planetary Soul Star chakra, where your personal Soul Star chakra is about you and the individual that you are. The planetary Soul Star chakra is about the collective consciousness of humanity, where your individual work is to help you remember and understand why you're here and what you are here for. The planetary Soul Star chakra works exactly the same way for the collective. And right now, the collective consciousness of humanity is lost. It's floundering. So no, we're not going to see a sudden understanding within the collective of how to clear up this mess and move forward without all this fear and anger. Like with your personal chakras, you have to do the work. But this activation will allow the potential of greater clarity to come through regarding what this journey is about. We, the individuals that form the collective consciousness of humanity, are each like a drop of water. We all have to do our work that we're here to do. And if we all come together in that work, we can build the strength and the essential knowledge, just like building the oceans. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That was very good information. Appreciate that. before we move on, because I am going to go ahead and have Kabaha, just so that you know, share her information in just a moment. I want to do say a couple of things. First of all, I want to show respect and honor to today being 9/11 in this country, and I think across the planet we all know and understand what the 9/11 event is, and in that sense we honor and respect the entire journey that has been the 9/11. Also too, I want to let everyone know that last year, and on our YouTube channel, on my YouTube channel, you can find the planetary, so the initial planetary soul star chakra activation, a video for that from September of last year. If you have not watched that or participated in that yet, I would suggest you do. And there's a lot of information in it that I won't be talking about this evening because it's already there and you can find it there. But we do talk about the compassion wave, that in that, just to give you some ideas to see if it's something you might want to check out. The compassion, what is known as the compassion wave, which was actually, I explain how that compassion wave in 2001, okay, was sent here through the center of our galaxy, from outside of our galaxy, and how it played into actually the event of 9/11 transpiring and what that was about. So, I do suggest that, you maybe look at that if you're interested in learning more about that. With that stated, I want to go ahead and turn this over to Kabaha to let her share. I think she's got some information to share, some more detailed information about your personal soul star chakra and how to begin working with it and stuff. So, Kabaha.
Thank you. Thank you, Essence. Yes, I'm going to talk to you today about how the soul star chakra works more on an individual level and the benefits while we working on that particular chakra. So the soul star chakra, also known as the seat of the soul, is located about a foot, 12 inches above our head. It lies above the crown chakra or the seventh chakra. It is usually white and gold in color. I know for the planetary soul star chakra, it's more gold and magenta, but I think Essence can confirm on that. The soul chakra, the soul star chakra, is our connection or gateway to the broader universe, or all that there is. It is the seat of our subconscious mind, because both the soul star and crown chakras relate to spiritual connection. There is some confusion about what is each chakra's specific purpose and how they differ. The crown chakra represents our individual or ego-based relation to spirit and the cosmic universe. From the crown chakra perspective, we see ourselves as separate entities, and through the crown, we connect and receive guidance. In contrast, the soul star chakra is the fusion of the spiritual dualism of life on earth, us as apparent and distinct individuals, with the spiritual oneness, where we recognize there is no separate self, but rather only one universal consciousness. Because of this, the soul chakra is seen as our connection to our higher self. Our higher self is what would refer to as our real self, true self, and the knowing self. The soul chakra is developed in all beings before incarnation, but it is not always open and functional in physical existence. The soul star chakra is concerned with our soul purpose. When our soul star chakra is balanced, we have a clear sense of purpose and why we have chosen this incarnation. As we work with our higher self and our spirit guides, we may learn why we are here and why we were born at this time. Many of us who have come onto the earth have a definite purpose. Although some of us may not know yet what our purpose is, once we work with the high vibration transpersonal chakras, we may gain the knowledge about why we have incarnated. Balancing the soul star chakra brings us a deeper connection with the unseen world. As we, the collective, ascend and expand in our consciousness, we will soon come to realize and discern what is true to our soul about reality as a whole. This chakra is a lot about the idea of letting go. It relates to allowing the divine light of spirit and the white red to fill your life. And this energy encourages you to let go of old attitudes that may otherwise have led you back in your current life. Once you have begun the process of connecting your soul to your conscious mind, you may access to karmic memories. Once the soul star chakra is open and functioning, instant manifestation as a true creator will begin. Balancing this chakra will facilitate soul progression. This will enable you to move forward lighter with an increased vibration. As I mentioned on Tuesday with the Earth Star Chakra, I gave you a few examples of crystals you could use. Same here. One of my favorite, I'm going to show it to you, and I've been using it from the beginning actually, is apophyllite. Apophyllite is one of my favorite crystals. It's one that when I connect with it, I connect very quickly with my higher self. It's very powerful crystal. So apophyllite will assist you in healing and releasing anything that stands in the way of spiraling into your greater self. It resonates with the heart and soul star chakras. It offers emotional healing and purification through ascension and connection to source energy. Additionally, it serves as a doorway to other dimensions. Among other minerals that you can also use are ametrine, selenite, Lemurian crystal, celestite, golden obsidian, rhodonite, pyrite, and fossils like amber and petrified wood. By intentionally doing things that enable your soul star chakra to come into alignment and to open, you will be stepping into your life purpose. And by doing so, into alignment with divine purpose within the universe at large. Okay, so that's the information about the soul star chakra. But I wanted as well to do some recap with you with the work we started, some of us started to do a few weeks back, 3 or 4 weeks ago. Some of us started to work on the strengthening of the high heart chakra. Okay. So just to give you an idea, the information I shared with all of you this week on the Earth Star Chakra and the Soul Star Chakra is for future work, deeper work we're going to do in the future in several months. The priority now is to work on the high heart chakra, okay? And the reason, one of the reasons, it's funny, I mentioned that when I got the card out for tonight, it's about tapping into the energy of balance. We need to balance our human self with our divine self. So it's part of the process of letting go of our old self and stepping into the newest version of who we really are, our true self. Interestingly, this morning I did a short meditation. I asked Spirit, asked my higher self, give me some information about how I'm going to present the work, how important it is to do the work on the high heart chakra at the moment. And I was shown a brand new house. And that brand new house was basically representing the true self. That's the goal, the aim to reach. But very quickly, I was shown another image which was more the foundation. And I understood very quickly that the work on the high heart at the moment was the foundation of finding our true self and finding eventually what we're here to do, what our life purpose, our soul purpose. Now, just to recap, for those of us that started the work a few weeks ago on the high heart, we're going to carry on, okay, until February of next year. I know it's a long time, but if you remember, I shared my experience in one of the chats, and I told you, yes, I worked on mine for a few months, but it was worth it, definitely worth it. And then come February, March, we're going to concentrate more on the Earth Star Chakra, Soul Star Chakra, the Soul Star Chakra as well. And if you remember, I mentioned in one of our chats about working on the solar plexus, but on a deeper level, the deeper chamber, to find that fire in the belly. And I'm talking the deep core there, in order to ignite the creative side, to be creative, to finally embrace the purpose, the soul purpose. So basically, just to recap and remind the work that we're doing on the high heart, okay, is to connect to our divine love, to connect to our compassion with detachment. I know it's a tough one for empath, but it is necessary. Forgiveness, truth, and release fear. So it's like the basic. We need to do the basic, building the sound, strong foundation of that house, which is going to represent finally finding our true self. What is our purpose in this life? Okay, so we need to do this work until about February time. I've penciled the date. Come February, we'll do some deeper energy work. Okay, and for people who are new to our channel, if you are interested and committed to do this type of work, you are welcome to join our group on Facebook, International Koalition of Krones, where you're going to find a video where I posted it, I think it was 3 weeks ago, describing, giving you the benefits on working on the high heart chakra and the instructions connected to meditation, etc. Okay, but you'll find out as well, if you're new to that, there is some work to be done on the throat, because the high heart chakra is very much connected with the throat chakra, which is going to expand that communication and self-expression, helping you to communicate from your heart. Okay, and I think that's basically it. So keep at it. If you started working on your high heart, believe you me, if I didn't do that work, I wouldn't be here today talking in front of that camera. There is no way, okay? So it is worth it. I know you need commitment, okay, to do the work and responsibility, but it is worth it. Thank you. Over to you, Essence.
Thank you, Kobaha. Thank you very much. I may have mentioned this already, but I want to mention it again right here now. I'm thinking about it. Last year's meditation activation for the Planetary Soul Star Chakra, we actually did personal work as well of going to led you through a guided meditation to a memory point, okay, where the remembrance of why you came here, what your sacred work is, okay, is in that video. If you want to go use that meditation, okay, it will help a lot. It is a good beginning point. All right. More information very quickly. I'm going to spit information out to those who have been following me and working with me for a while. Usually doesn't take too long, but know that I'm all about the information. So here we're going to spit the information out, and then we're going to go. I am going to warn you that I'm going to give you information that even though there is a plan, there is a map, there is a pathway, just like Kobaha has been talking about, how this work is best done. Okay. And but remember, everybody is individual. Okay. But there is a pathway. There is a pathway that's tried and true and tested, or tried. How does that say? Tried, tested, and true, whatever. Okay. All right, here we go. Information. Talking about the planetary soul star chakra. Where is it located on the planet? Patala Palace in Laos, China. This is in China's Tibet autonomous region. Technically, the Patala Palace is the center point of a circular area with a radius of approximately 448 kilometers, and this area includes Mount Everest. This was on I put up for those who haven't seen it, I put up an image on our Facebook page and shared it out a little bit so that you can actually have a visual image if you want to see that. Also, too, just know that I'm going to be reading here some of the frequencies and stuff just that are associated specifically with this year's activation of the planetary soul star chakra. In the next day or two over this weekend, I will be actually on my website and then share it onto the page and out into some groups and stuff. And you're welcome to share it. As a matter of fact, please share it for us. But I'll be writing, pretty extensively more information write-outs about these frequencies and a lot of this stuff. And then, of course, there will be the recording up on YouTube in a day or two. Okay, the Patala Palace is the sacred structure. It's a palace in the city of Laos in China's Tibet autonomous region that was the palace of the Dalai Lama from 1649 to 1959. In 1959, on March 10th, the Tibetan uprising occurred. This was when the current Dalai Lama, the 14th Dalai Lama, and tens of thousands of Tibetan Buddhists fled China and went into exile as refugees in India, Nepal, and Bhutan. Why here? What's so special about this point? Why is this? Okay, first of all, where did I get this information? I work with an aspect of self that is known as Navari. She is the Earth liaison for the Intergalactic Governance Board. She actually gave me this information about where all three of these transpersonal planetary chakra points are back in around August of 2019. So that's where I get this specific information. I talked to a lot of non-human people, but that's where this information came from. Okay. So why here? What is so special about this point? The definition of the word palace is the official residence of a sovereign or exalted personage. Sovereign means possessing supreme or ultimate power. Sovereignty is the full right and power of a governing body over itself without any interference from outside sources or bodies. Exalted, one, of a person of their rank or status, placed at a higher powerful level, held in high regard. Two, in a state of extreme happiness, govern. From the Latin, gubernare, I don't know Latin, and pronunciation's not my strong suit, but we're going with that. Means to direct, rule, guide, govern. So, as the point of the planetary soul star chakra, the Patala Palace represents that place, that point where we as a collective consciousness possess and exist within a state of our full power, knowledge, and ability, wisdom, to govern, which means direct, rule, guide, make decisions of course of action of our collective self, and exist in our exalted form, extreme happiness and peace. This is the energy that this planetary point holds. That is why That is the point on the planet. Okay. Now, the colors associated with the planetary soul star chakra are magenta and gold. I talked quite a bit about it in last year's. Once again, just keep referencing that, just, you know, as a reminder. Okay, the old, I'm not crazy about this term, but I'm going to use it for simplicity's sake. The old paradigm reality color associations are white or white and gold. Okay. I'm not saying those are wrong, but what it is, the colors, the magenta and the gold are the colors associated with the new collective reality experience we are creating. And it's a swirling, a weaving together of magenta and gold. All right. Why? Well, past chats very quickly stated one reason to explain it. If we keep creating our reality from the exact threads that we've always woven it together with, guess what? We're going to keep creating the same reality. Okay. So some threads leave, new threads come in. Okay. Not all at once. It's a journey, remember, but energetically speaking, okay, because I work in the energy realms. Energetically speaking, this is what we're doing. Okay. Now, why? Magenta. Magenta is the frequency. Okay. Because colors are nothing more than frequencies that we experience as this color. To state it very simply, the frequency of the color magenta is a bridge to spirit. It connects us to what it is like to exist outside of our physical bodies as pure spirit, an existence beyond the physical form. It takes us to that place beyond the veil of illusion of physical reality. Gold. So gold is the frequency that contains ancient future knowledge and wisdom and teaches us how to utilize that knowledge and wisdom. That is why the planetary soul star chakra, the frequencies of the colors associated with it are magenta and gold. So when you look at the planetary soul star chakra within your inner vision, you are going to see a swirling together of the frequencies that we know as magenta and gold. And it is for these reasons that I just shared. Okay. This is, I'm going to move pretty quickly through this, the next bit of information, because we want to get on to the Metatronic numerology frequencies associated with this year's planetary soul star chakra activation. There are 4 of them. Okay, now first of all, the 911 dual frequency is across the board, okay, in all 3. You can see it as the baseline, okay, sort of that foundation that Kobaha was talking about, all right, for the entire 3 years of this chakra and this work. Okay, the 3 other, that's the 911. That I am keyword phrase is, now, as I read these I am keyword phrases, I'd like for you to think about what they're actually saying and sort of overlay them on what you understand we're here to do this evening. And you will realize, you know, just what I've talked about already about what reactivating these planetary transpersonal chakras back on, okay, into our collective reality field, onto the planet, are bringing about. Remember, how was it I stated something to the effect of the planetary soul star chakra creates a structure, okay, a foundation, a structure, and it is also a propulsion force for the expansion of the collective consciousness of humanity. Exactly where we're at this point. So another way of looking at it, maybe a better way, you know, for those who kind of maybe have a tendency to, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it this way, and I say it tongue in cheek, or be Debbie Downers. In other words, kind of looking at, oh no, it's going to be too hard. No, it's not. We got this. Okay. It's a propulsion force. We've earned this. Okay. This would not be transpiring. These chakras, these energy centers and these grid points that we're going to be activating over the next 2 decades, this would not be transpiring. And I know that sounds kind of crazy right now, especially with what's going on in 3D, 4D, actually 5D reality that we're existing in, in our everyday world. But the point is, we've actually done the work to get us to this point, that we've earned this. This is the help. Is it getting harder? Yeah, it is. It is. But you know why? It's because, as we've said, and I've said for, umpteen forever, we're not in kindergarten anymore. We're taking on more responsibility. Okay, we got to step up. That's what we're doing. Okay, so the 9/11 dual frequency, I am keyword phrase. I am the truth of unconditional giving and forgiveness, illumined for all to behold. Gee, doesn't that sound like that high heart work? Okay. The next one that is, like I said, and I'll share in-depth write-ups of these on my website and share them out. You'll find them in the next few days, okay, is the 844 dual frequency. This one says, I am a channel of the divine metamorphosis required to create a secure physical reality, obtained only through the mastery of wielding structured power. The next one is the 922 dual frequency. It says, I am self-completed. I hold the vision of sacred templates upon which new collective realities are built. What are we doing, folks? We're building a new collective reality. We're laying a template. We're laying a foundation of the structure of a new collective reality. Now, interestingly enough, this frequency, this 922, came fully online. You just got to love this stuff. I do. And I think we all do when stuff like this comes and we go, wow. Okay. Interestingly enough, this frequency came fully online within Earth's energy field approximately on or about September 11th, 2018. Almost exactly a full year before we knew anything about the planetary soul star chakra and reactivating it. That energy came, all right? This 922 dual frequency is a main propulsion force for the creation of group collective conscious minds and substantially escalates the rate at which the creation of group collective conscious minds occurs. This is significant because group collective conscious minds are the building blocks of the collective mind and reality. This is necessary because this is the first required step for creating and working with in-galactic and intergalactic group collective conscious minds. We're going galactic 2020. Everything's related. Nothing's separate. It's all related. Okay. 1199 dual frequency is the fourth one. It says, I am the light of compassion. I am that which shines through when the act of forgiveness is fulfilled. I am the master of the lemniscate pathway of the soul. Now, actually, this 844 and the 1199 dual frequency, I did just share on the IKoK page and other pages yesterday or today. I think it was yesterday. So those you can access already. But on March 11th, 2020 was the first time we made contact with this frequency, this 1199 dual frequency. And this, honestly, this is a frequency, they're all powerful, but some of them just are like, make me go, wow. And this is one of those, okay? So March 11th of this year was the first time we made contact with this frequency. This is when it entered Earth's energy field. Of all the frequencies we currently are working with, this is the one single one that can most directly be seen as the frequency that will be the most responsible for taking humanity physically into the starry fields of our Milky Way galaxy. Here is where the lemniscate pathway of the soul becomes known, and knowledge of the interaction of the magnetic matrix field of divine intelligence is access and the work of mastering the eternal and infinite individualized soul begins in conscious form. Okay, I'll have those on. We're going to keep moving. All right, now, We all know we're here this evening to do this activation of the planetary soul star, and we're going to do that. But here's what we're going to be doing. Remember, I told you last year we not only did that, but we had personal work. Okay, and that was to go to that memory point where you could more clearly hear and know what your sacred contractual work in this lifetime was. All right, this year, here's what we're doing for the individual. This year's work with the planetary soul star chakra activation is to activate a second phase, if you will. Now, this is the planetary I'm talking about, creating a stronger frequency that is being emitted from this planetary energy center. Okay, so we did that first initial activation last year, and that frequency has that in that chakra center, that vortex center, okay, has been moving energy into our Earth's energy matrix grid, okay, for the entire year. Well, we're going to up it this year. That's the planetary chakra work, all right, for the individual. Last year, during the planetary soul star chakra activation work for the individual, we did the work of going to the point in space and time just immediately before the moment of physical conception, where the knowledge about why you came here and what you came here to do as the individual you are is most clearly seen and known. This year, okay, I'm going to spit a lot of information at you. Don't worry about trying to remember all of it right now. Think of it more as seed planting, okay? This year, for the individual work during this planetary soul star chakra activation, we are going to focus on locating and doing an initial stimulation of what is known as the 9th chakra and or the second third eye point. Most people only know about and think there's just one third eye humans work with. Although this is the norm and most common knowledge, this is not the full information about this. Basic information. There is only one third eye point within the physical human form chakra system, a system of energy vortexes that consists of 7 major energy vortex centers. That's what chakras are, okay? So in the physical form, there are 7 main chakras. That's the chakra system that most people are familiar with. Sorry, I got flyaway papers going over here. But there are actually 3 major third eye points associated with humans. Really, there are more than that, but there are 7. But 3 of them is all we're going to be looking at, okay? And 3 of them are the strongest. And that is what is being reawakened and reactivated in conjunction with the reactivation of the planetary transpersonal chakras over the next 10 to 12 years. Okay, here we go. 2020, we will open and begin accessing the second third eye, or the 9th chakra. This will assist us, to come into a place of wisdom about how to work with and implement the knowledge of why you came here and what you came here to do, that you are or will be accessing through the opening of your personal soul star chakra. Okay, so in other words, really remember, we're only stimulating this tonight, okay? We're stimulating this 9th chakra, this second third eye point, all right? Because as Kobaha as shared, working with us, and we're not saying that you have to work with us to do it. We're just saying that this is what we're offering as the Krones of the IKoK, all right, a pathway and assisting others in this process. And right now, because it's not do it one time and it's done and it's over with, and suddenly, you can twitch your nose like Samantha on Bewitched or something, Boy, wouldn't that be awesome? It's a journey, okay? And right now, the work is with the high heart. Just want to remind you all of that. But like I said, I'm throwing information at you. It is planting seeds. And all we are going to do tonight, while we are activating the second activation of this planetary soul star chakra, we are going to stimulate the second, third eye within the individual. Okay? All right. Let me get back to my notes here. I'm sorry. Okay. So 2020, we will open. This assists you to come into a place of wisdom about how to work with and implement the knowledge that you get when you open and access and get to a certain place with your personal soul star chakra. Because remember, that's where the knowledge is held, the clear knowledge, okay, of why you came here. The first third eye, the sixth chakra of the human physical form, 7 chakra system, is located in the center of the forehead. When open and working properly, it allows you to begin seeing into other dimensions and reality realms, accessing more knowledge about an expanded reality. But often, just like Ariane talked about, but often this is confusing. And even though you may see into these realms of reality, you may not really understand what you're seeing. Here, there is a sense of an expanding inner vision and being able to see more in a way of sensing. All right. The second third eye, the 9th chakra, brings the knowledge accessed by the first third eye inwards, or maybe better stated, brings it into the rational mind. Here, there is a way of seeing up close, of seeing the details. These details then begins speaking to the rational mind, and thus a sense of hearing begins to come into play. Do you see the overlap here with the high heart and the throat? How you see this overlap, all right? The second third eye is located below the first third eye and is found just above the bridge of the nose between the brows. So the third eye, okay, in the 7 chakra system in the physical form is here, located here. The second third eye is located here. So this would be the 6th chakra. This is the 9th chakra. Okay. Note, it is significant to note that this second third eye is in alignment. Okay, once again, a lot of information that we're not really working with yet, but it is seed planting, right? It is significant to note that this second third eye is in an alignment on the head with a point just above the ears. So in other words, if you do this, all right, you come around right here. This is an access point that plays a major part in opening your clairaudient and telepathic abilities. Okay. From here, stimulation or activation of the 9th chakra energy point, once the specific point of frequency is attained and maintained, meaning you're working with it, with this energy center and what it offers in a correct fashion, then the stimulation of the 10th chakra begins. The 10th chakra is what we can call the high or higher throat chakra. Here is from where wisdom is spoken in sound. And by so doing, puts it into motion and frequency form. Think sacred geometry and cymatics. Among other things, not only is knowledge shared via the sacred spoken word, sacred sound, such as chanting, toning, activations, energy work, etc., is set forth into motion and form is created. Here, when sacred sound is sent forth from the 10th chakra, there is a conscious knowing, a vision seeing, okay? An inner visualization, if you will, of the light and sound, the sacred geometry and the cymatics created by the voice. Everything such as color, movement, the flow rate ratio, directions, etc., okay, of the energy created by the sounds is fully seen, known, and controlled, whether it's knowledge shared in words, chanting, toning, or whatever form it takes. The 7 chakras of the physical form are just that. They belong to and are attached to and associated most directly with the work on and for the physical form, and they tie directly to the emotional body. The high throat is also known as the sacred throat or the sacred tongue or the sacred voice. It's known by all of these things, is attached to and associated more directly with work with the mental body, aka the divine rationality. And as there are second and third eyes, I don't know where I was going with that, but we're going to leave that there. Okay. The high heart is and acts very much like, first of all, let me tell you this. Where is this? Where is this high throat or the sacred tongue? Okay. The throat chakra of the 7 chakra system of the physical form is right here in this little V, right? That's your throat chakra. All right. Your high heart is just below it here. Okay. The thymus. The sacred tongue is here. Okay. It is actually, you feel that point? You feel that in there? That point. And where is that going to lead us? So you're beginning to see why this work is necessary. Okay. Where is this going to take us eventually? All right. A little bit more information very quickly. The high heart, going back to that a little bit, is and acts very much like a bridge between the 7 chakra system of the physical form and the higher chakras of the mental body. That's another reason this high heart work is so important right now. Okay, not only is it leading you to understanding who you are, why you came here, what you came here to do, and all of this, that's actually just step 1. Okay, step 1 with the high heart work. It actually bridges, it's the bridge, okay, that leads through the emotional body and does the work of spanning the divine physical form with the divine rational mental form. This is why the high heart work is so important, especially right now. It is absolutely vital to learning to control the emotional form, the unbalanced emotional body of the collective. The emotional body of the collective is so unbalanced due to the fact that the majority of the individuals who comprise the collective of humanity have an unbalanced emotional body. This is what continues to create division and strife, leading our collective ever deeper into chaos. This is our sacred work. This is what we, those of us who are called to it, feel called to it, who've answered this call, this is what a big part of, I'm not saying it's the only thing, but it is a big part of us stepping up, taking on more responsibility, and doing the work to be of assistance to this collective consciousness of humanity as it traverses through this major point that it's at. We hear talk about that. That's been the talk of this whole entire belief system for decades now. We're there. Okay. One last note. Yoga, Qigong, Tai Chi, etc., preferably in, okay, so all of this that I've just told you, all this information, all of these transpersonal and higher chakras that we're going to begin bringing online, reactivating, working with, lining up, learning how to work with them properly, all of this, okay, in the next decade. yoga, qigong, tai chi, etc. Preferably any non-martial military art form of sacred movement. Now, that doesn't mean that these other forms of sacred movement can't be used, but it's still about the intention, okay? But there is an energy. So that's why it was stated this way, all right? Yoga, qigong, tai chi, etc., preferably any non-martial military art form of sacred movement are highly suggested as a physical aid in this work. Even any type of gentle physical activity on a routine basis, walking, swimming, bike riding, etc., as long as some type of physical movement exercise that is gentle and allows for concentration and focus. And even a correct, erect posture is extremely vital and important to correctly opening and working with these higher frequency chakras. This is because, and this is probably going to be about the last thing that I can think of. This is because all of this, as we bring this together and we learn more and more about this, okay, and begin working with this, we come to understand how the physical human form is actually a tool of creation. Okay, all right. Any comments, questions, anything anyone wants to say or add at this point before we get ready to go into meditation? No, everybody's quiet. Okay, well, then let's go ahead and get ready. I'm going to actually turn down the lights a little bit. I would like everyone to get comfortable, and we'll begin in just a moment. No, you go lay down. Okay. Let's see where this journey takes us tonight. I'd like to ask that everyone find a comfortable position and ready themselves for the work we came here to do this evening. I want to say thank you. We're honored that you have heard this call, and you are honored for having responded to the call and stepping up and taking on more responsibility to being of assistance to the collective of humanity at this point in time. Excuse me just a moment. Okay. Would you like to take a deep breath, bring yourself into center, and begin relaxing? And another deep breath, bringing yourself into that centered place of stillness and calmness. I'd like for you now to consciously open up the minor chakras within the palms of your hands. Just simply move your hands just a bit. You might feel the desire to just simply softly rub them a moment in a circular motion. And do the same thing. Open up those minor chakras in the arches of your feet. In so doing, this allows for a better grounding. And breathe in and relax. I'd like for you to visualize a magenta and gold ribbon energy ribbon, now making its way down from the center of our Milky Way galaxy. And as it weaves and flows ever gently down in a swaying, soft motion as an energy ribbon would flow, it finds its way to just above your physical form, just above your head. And there, it gently begins to envelop your personal soul star chakra. You can feel the soft, gentle magenta and gold weaving frequency energy as it begins making its way into your energy field. And with its initial contact with your soul star chakra, you can feel the arches of your feet, those chakra points, as if they had just expanded. This is allowing this energy to move completely into your personal energy field. Take a deep breath, and as you do the in-breath, you're going to pull this energy, this magenta and gold energy ribbon down into your crown chakra. And on the next in-breath, the energy, this magenta and gold energy ribbon, you pull it down into your third eye, your physical form, third eye in the very center of your forehead. From there, on the next in-breath, you pull it down into your throat chakra. Physical form throat chakra. We are working with the physical form 7 chakra system at this time. Magenta and gold weaving its way into and through your form, your energy form, your physical form. It has now made its way to your throat chakra. And the next in-breath, I would like for you to pull that energy, that same magenta and gold energy ribbon down into your heart chakra. And on the next in-breath, down into your solar plexus chakra. And the next in-breath, down into your sacral chakra, your second chakra. And on the next in-breath, into your root chakra. And here, take 3 deep breaths and exhale slowly through the mouth, and allow this gold and magenta energy ribbon, this swirling together, to fully envelop your form. Feel its gentle swirl. It's powerful. And with it, you feel your own power, your own sovereignty. And you rule and guide your own self. Feel your inner power. With the next in-breath, continue pulling this gold and magenta energy ribbon down through the arches of your feet, the chakras in your arches of your feet. And as it enters these chakras, your entire physical form is now completely filled with this magenta and gold energy. On the next in-breath, pull it down even further down into your Earth Star, your personal Earth Star chakra, approximately 2 to 3 feet below your feet into the earth itself. And there it swirls and moves. And you feel your connection to the planet, your connection to the collective mind of humanity. And you know, you, we, I am one. In your next in-breath, this gold and magenta energy now begins to rise. It is not leaving your form. It is simply rising back up from the Earth Star chakra now. And from there, on your next in-breath, pull it all the way back up into your high heart chakra. Feel that power. Feel the connection. Feel the compassion that does not overwhelm. Feel the knowledge. Feel the energy of knowledge and wisdom as it envelops your form. Know thyself. And on the next in-breath, I want you to gently pull, continue pulling this magenta and gold energy ribbon up into your second, third eye, located just above the bridge of the nose, directly between the brows of your physical body. Breathe gently. You experience a gentle tingling sensation. This will not open this chakra. It will simply stimulate it so that you can know it exists, so that you can feel its energy. If your physical form is becoming warm, know that that is normal. Simply continue to breathe gently and evenly. Just feel the stimulation, the tingling stimulation of the second, third eye. You may hear ringing in your ears. If you do, know that this is normal. There's no need for concern. You may see colors other than magenta and gold. Just simply experience the stimulation. On your next in-breath, I ask that you now focus on intentionally continuing to bring this gold and magenta energy ribbon back up into your main third eye in the very center of your forehead. And with this, either now or in the days to come, you may notice an increase in the clarity of your inner vision. Always remain calm and grounded. Remember, you are in control. You are the master of your form, your physical form, and your energetic form. In the next in-breath, I ask that you now continue bringing the magenta and gold energy ribbon back up through your crown chakra into your personal soul star chakra, where this circuit is complete. This energy circuit has now completed one round. I'll give you just a few moments to experience this flow of the in-breath and out-breath and the gentle flow. We are now going to begin our journey to do the work of the second phase activation of the planetary transpersonal soul star chakra of Earth. You can still see and sense this gold and magenta energy ribbon where it attached from the center of our Milky Way galaxy to your soul star, your individual soul star chakra. I would like for you now to follow that magenta and gold energy ribbon up with your consciousness up to above the Potala Palace in Lao, China. Do not let the rational mind get in the way. Simply know that when I count down from 7 to 0, you will be there in circle, in sphere, in a golden and magenta energy sphere. Beautiful, clear, iridescent, standing in consciousness form with a multitude of other consciousnesses who have come together for this most sacred of work. We're going to meet for reference in Earth's magnetosphere. Approximately 55,000 miles above Earth, above the point of Potala Palace, or approximately 88,500 kilometers. I begin the countdown from 7 to 0, and at 0 you will simply instantaneously be within this beautiful magenta and golden swirling sphere with the multitude of human and galactic and intergalactic and multidimensional family. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and we are there. As we stand in consciousness form with the multitudes have gathered here for this most sacred of work, you can see or sense or know the knowledge, the wisdom of the universe is at hand. There is a grand and beautiful design playing out, one that is all but impossible to recognize outside of this sphere. But in this sphere, it is known. There is no doubt within the mind, the consciousness of the one that knows itself. In all of its forms. As we stand as one and as millions, we can, within the inner vision of consciousness, look down and see below us, thousands of miles or kilometers below us, the beautiful planet Earth. We can feel the magnetic energy as it flows around us, and we can see and know the gift of energy that we now offer from the place of love, the point within, and allow it to simply rain down upon planet Earth from this point and envelop all humanity, all life on Earth. Just a few moments to experience this before we begin our journey back into physical form. I will call for you in just a moment. Kara Unche Kara Unche Nagyan Kara Unche Nagyan I am the ancient future, immortal. And the work has been completed. Ask that you begin to prepare yourself for return to your physical form. Beckoning family farewell for this moment. I'd like for you to now begin returning your consciousness into your physical form. I would like for you to simply, by your intuition, for you are sovereign. You control, you maintain, and you drive your physical form. Bring yourself back, release any energies that are beyond what will be comfortable for you to maneuver in physicality again. Know that you may experience this energy anytime again that you so like, now that you have learned the pathway. I'm going to count from 0 to 7, and at the count of 7, you will find yourself instantaneously back in your physical form, fully aware, fully alert, with peace in your heart and love in your form. 0, 1, 2, 3. Closer to your physical form, take a deep breath, begin moving your fingers a little. 4, move your toes, your feet. 5, begin moving your form, finding your way back in. 6, and 7. To thank everyone for participating in this journey. I'm Essence Catheris, Intergalactic Magnetic Activation Master. I am so honored to have worked with each and every one of you. Give everyone just a few more moments to get back into their form. Moving around a little bit helps, even if it's just swaying a little bit in your chair. If anyone has anything they would like to share or say right now before we go ahead and end this very quickly, you are welcome to. Know that we try to hold this energy at this level. We like to end our work, the chats, on the sound of silence, but you are welcome to say anything that you feel like you might need to. know that it will be on the recording. If you prefer not to, you can stay on after we end the recording. We will stay on and chat, and you can share there off of the recording if you so like. So I don't see anyone, so I'm going to ask the other two Krones to go ahead and try to find their bodies and say goodbye for this evening.
Wow, what can I say? Oh, quite amazing. Quite an amazing experience, especially in the sphere.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Well, thank you everyone for joining us tonight. Wonderful experience again. And if you still wish starting doing the work on the high heart chakra, please don't hesitate to join our group on Facebook, the International Koalition of Krones. You'll find the video there with all the instructions and information. And I thank you again. Kashem.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on this. I'm still coming back from that journey. I'm not quite in myself quite yet. That was an amazing experience, and I thank you and Gaisha-ing.
Thank you. Thank you to the other Krones. Thank you to everyone who joined us. And with that, I believe we will go ahead and just take a moment and quietly move out in the sound of silence. So honored. Thank you. Kara unche. Anapa'u Nagi'an. I am the ancient future, transitioning immortal. Kara unche Nagi'an Janehe Gahua Ka'ai Ani. I am the ancient future, immortal, birthing the genesis of new lands. Kara unche Prana. I am the ancient future breath of life. Kara unche Prana.